To start off today's video, I have a little bit of bad news for you guys. It is unfortunately my very last day of winter break, and that means I have to return for another semester of college. So, video-wise, it's not going to be daily uploads from now on. It's only going to be limited to maybe 2 to 3 videos per week. Hope you guys do understand that in advance because I am trying my best to get my studies up and hopefully pursue my bachelor's degree in computer science within the next upcoming years. But I don't want to get too far in depth with that, like I've pretty much said in every other video. Let's just jump right into it. What's good, everybody? It's your boy Tico on Blitz, back at it again with another video. And today we have another tank review. This time we are reviewing a pretty, I would say, in between rare and kind of easy to get because it's now being shown in some crates, to be exact, and that is the Charlemagne. This is the Tier 8 British Premium Heavy Tank that features pretty solid capabilities out on the battlefield, along with a deadly form of high explosives. These are HESH shells, specifically known as high explosive squash heads, which it says has low penetration but can deal massive damage if it penetrates armor. When hitting an obstacle, this shell explodes and can deal minor splash damage. Most effective when used in guns with a caliber larger than 152 millimeters and never ricochets. Although it may sound similar to just the standard high explosive, just standard HEs right here, the high explosive squash heads are going to be able to have more penetration outputs than just the regular high explosives. I would consider it pretty much as a more premium form of high explosive. Kind of the same thing with premium armor piercing, aka standard ammo, in a form to where that the penetration values are going to become more increased than it is upon its standard counterpart. And here is exactly what I mean about that. You can see that on the Charlemagne, you have two variations of high explosive right here. One of them is the high explosive squash heads, which can have a massive average penetration of 174 millimeters, compared to the standard high explosive, which is 100 millimeters less, sitting at 75 millimeters. That's why I would consider this as a premium form of just standard high explosives, because it's premium ammo, it's in the second slot, and you have a much higher damage output for the fact that this is a British tank. And then I'll move onward to the damage factors that come along to this vehicle. 390 on the standard, and with the high explosive squash heads, it can do upwards of 470 average, and with just the standard high explosives, it can do upwards of 530. Along with the armor profile of the Charlemagne, this is against another Tier 8 heavy, this one being the Carnarvon. We could see flat ground doesn't look so pretty because of the fact that you have only 189 millimeters thick on the upper portion of the whole armor, and you have 107 on the lower portion. You have a pretty troll turret right here as well, which you have cheeks right here that are ranging upwards of 205 to 212, and of course, like every other tank has, a hatch on the roof that's only 83. When I load armor piercers, you can see that there are more spots to hit the turret. The cheeks somewhat increases to upwards right next to the top left corner of the gun mantlet right here, having a slightly better penetration value, although it's upwards of 248 to 260, while the other side is upwards of 230 while at it. This tank also has 8 degrees of gun depression, and when you're poking over a ridgeline like this, yeah, that's where everything all changes. You can see how thick the upper plate is right here, now that it has upwards of 245 millimeters thick. And the cheeks are still going to be visible, but it's still going to be pretty much of an impossible hit, unless if you're lucky enough to manage to hit them in the exact spots to where it is an auto penetration. Still upwards of 217 millimeters thick on this cheek, and 216 on this very tiny right triangle looking cheek right here. When I load premium ammo on the other hand, it expands it by only a small margin, but it is still going to be a pretty hard hit considering the fact that it's only limited to how wide of a cheek it is in order to pen the shot. You can see the left cheek now upwards of 257, and this upwards of 246 on the right side. The hatch is also a little bit thick when hold down, upwards of 112 millimeters thick. And then you've got the side of the vehicle right here, having a turret upwards of 127 to 130, and then the whole side upwards of 71. When I load the high explosives, especially in a tank that doesn't really have a high HE output, it's going to be impossible to try to do the maximum amount when this tank is facing its side because it is too thick in order for HE shells to cut right through it. And then, of course, you have the back of the vehicle, back of the turret upwards of 91, and then the rear upwards of 65. HE, still with the Carnivron, cannot penetrate the back of this vehicle as it has too thick of rear armor in order for HE shells to only do a minimum amount of damage within that vicinity. And then we get on to the maneuverability of the tank. It's actually pretty solid, having a top speed of 35 kilometers with a reverse of 13, power to weight of 15.4, which is pretty solid, turret turn rate of 30.37, and a hull turn rate of 36.18. And here we are in game number 1. Let's see what they got in terms of heavies. An M103, a WZ-114, and a T-77. Okay. 2 tier 9 heavies along with a tier 8 along with that. Alright, so let's see how we are going to fare well in this battle. Alright. So we are going to make our way over towards the left side right over here and see if we could spot out some of the enemies going towards this side. Alright, we're going to make our way to C base. Probably go in this goalie right here or see if I can use my gun depression to the best of my advantage. Try to spot out some of the tanks that do end up crossing in the process. Alright. Some other tanks could be poking up in town, but it overall varies. I don't know what my team is doing at the moment, so hopefully they are going to make their way up. Looks like we spotted some of the enemies over in the town area. Don't see that Jad Tiger just yet, but we're just going to move on up just a little bit. Not too far because I don't have support with me at the moment. Oh, we got the T-77 RHM Semavente off to the side. So let's see, am I able to get a shell into one of you guys? Not able to spot them. Oh, there's the Pershing off in the back. The Hesh didn't really go as expected. It flew exactly where I wanted it to, but it didn't have the damage output to the best of the ability of this tank. Alright. So we're just going to continue to wait on here, see if we can get more shells into the enemies upon spotting them. So, alright, we do have our T-30 right next to us. Alright. Let's see. Are we able to get some shells into some of these enemies? Oh, it looks like they're going to be moseying on forward. So what I'm going to do, make my way over to the right side. See if I can spot out some of the other majority of their tanks that are crossing. Looks like that WZ-114 is going to continue to move on forward. Alright, back up just a little bit. So, there we go. There's a nice shot into the side of his turret for 467. And that is what I'm talking about the HESH outputs of this tank. We got the RHM off to the side as well, who's going to be pushing on up. Ooh, there we go. 542. I just used the standard HEs on that one because I already know the RHM has paper armor. Alright, we got the Semavente also going to be pushing on up. So, let's see if he does. I think he did end up pushing up in the process, but we are not able to see him. Yep, he does. All right, so he's going to be moseying on by this house right here. All right, he is backing on up too. So let's see. Are we able to spot him? Unfortunately, we are not. All right, so what do I want to do? That Semavente, I think he's going to continue to back on up. Ah, the shell. Oh, it just goes high. It was a pen spot too. That is tough. All right. So what do I want to do? I'm just going to make my way over towards these. Oh, we got the WZ right there as well. So I'm just going to push on upwards over here and use my gun depression. Looks like the Semavente is also pushing up on our object, which is not ideal. Looks like the WZ is going to push up on me as well. All right, I want to try to see if I can hold this guy off to the best of my ability. Oh, we got the M103 off to the side as well. He is poking the side of his turret. Not able to get a shot into him as I don't have the... Alright, you know what? I'm just going to push down on him like that. There we go. Nice shot into him for 467. The M103, I don't know what he is doing right here, as he is just in the flat out open right here. I don't know. Oh, he does have the gun depression to spot me and hit me, but we're able to get a nice shot and trade him for 359. All right. We're just going to continue onward to see if we can get some shells into the WZ-114 and farm him to the best of our ability. All right, continue onward. There we go. Nice shot for 497 into his tank. Hopefully that object does finish off that Semavente in the process, which he does, and he does get cleared along with that. So we're just going to continue to focus on this enemy M103, and we do get a max roll of 588 into his vehicle, which is nice. All right. Gonna continue onward. He is gonna move on downward in the process, so that means we are able to get a okay, we'll bounce the shell then. All right, so I want to continue making my way this side. I don't want those enemies to tunnel me in the process. All right, we are in a fine spot now, and it looks like that RHM don't really know what his plan is, so we are able to finish him off. And the M103 don't really care if he pens me, but we do end up coming out with a win on this one. And that just goes to show you guys the HESH factors when it comes to the Charlemagne. I mean, it wasn't pretty. We did miss a majority of our shots, which I'm completely fine, but we are still able to do 3,299 damage and get a second class in the process. And we were also able to do top on the team while at it. And here we are in game number 2, which looks like another tier 9 battle. Another M103, we got a 53 TP. And, okay, that's pretty much all they got. Just a single tier 9 and a single tier 8 in terms of heavies. All right. Oh, excuse me. Sorry, I just had lunch before this. So we're going to make our way over towards the... All right, I guess we're going to go this way. Okay. Unless if my Jad Tiger does need help getting spot in the process. So we're just going to make our way over to the left side. Or support. I'm sorry, not spot. Support. Oh, my goodness. All right. So we're going to mosey on over to this side. See if we can use our gun depression to our advantage. Wow, 600 ping there. Holy smokes. That's crazy. All right. We're going to just stay put right here. See what ends up poking towards A side. Looks like we got some enemies over towards C side as well. So let's see if we could get a pot shot into one of these enemies real quick, if they decide to want to poke out. Well, we do got the TL7 right there, who we are able to get a nice shot into his hatch for 359. He did miss his shell in the process, which is pretty good. All right. Let's see. Are we able to get another shell into him? He's going to poke on up. All right. Come on, bro. I know you want to. I know you want to. I know you want to. I know it. I know it. Oh, my goodness. You're scared. All right. Come on, bro. I know you want to do it. He's not really worth my time anyways. Okay, so I'm just going to make my way over towards this side then and focus on some of the enemies that are trying to cross over to this side. Unless if that TL7 does decide to want to come out of his shell and poke out over the ridge line. Oh, he did end up moving on forward. All right, we got the WZ off to the side as well. So let's see. There we go. Ooh, and we did light him on fire, and he's still going up in health. Almost 600 damage taken off of his vehicle. Wow. All right. He is going to mosey on up, and he is going to regret life right after that as he gets finished off by me in the process. All right. That was a pretty solid chunk of damage dealt to his vehicle. So we're going to continue to mosey on up, see if we can get some shells into any of these other enemies over here. There is that M103 and the TL7. Looks like he's going to be pushing on up once again. Oh, we are not able to spot any of those two over there. We got the 53 TP off to the side, and we got that TL7 still there. So I hope there's no enemies that are poking out over towards this side, which is good. So we're going to go right behind the TL7. Oh, we got that 53 TP moving in on us. So let's see. Are we able to get an HE into his rear? Which we are. And a high roll of 559 into his tank. Holy smokes. All right. Let's see. We are going to reload once again. Oh, he just moves forward. And he gets cleared. It doesn't really matter. So we're going to make our way to the TL7 over here before he finishes off my object. All right, moving on upwards. Nice, we're able to get the clear into him. We got the Semavente who just pulled up off to the side as well. See if we can get some shells into him while at it. And then we got that M103 moseying on up along with that. So let's see, we're not able to spot him at the moment. All right, we're gonna continue on upwards. We're full health, which doesn't matter. All right, there is the Semavente right there. Apparently, I didn't aim that shell right. Alright. So, now the M103 is over here. We're going to try to get into a side scrape, see if we can get a shot into him. Oh, he is pushing on upwards as well. So, let's see. There we go. Another nice shot. And we were to light him on fire again and do 700 damage on him. Alright, so now it is just me and the Yad Tiger wherever he's at. He's right down there. Alright, we're going to get another nice shot into the M103, and it looks like we're the last one left, which is not ideal, so we're going to reload once again, see if we can get a clear into the M103 real quick. We're able to see his hole. He's going to poke on out once again, and we are able to get the clear, and it looks like the Semavente is going to come along in the process. We're full health, so it doesn't really matter, so we're just going to mosey on upward towards him and get a nice shot into him. T-28 prototype is coming along as well. So, we're going to put on our fast reload, see if we can get it clear into the Semavente right there. Don't really care if these two hit me. There we go. We're able to get it clear into him. Although this is a loss, I could care less as the matter of fact. We were able to hold off some of these vehicles to the best of our ability. This is another 3K game right here. And let's see the aftermath results. 3840, almost 4K. And we were able to pull an ace off of that, killing 4 in the process. And we were able to do top on the team yet again. Let's go, boys. I gotta admit, for the majority of British tanks in the game, they are exceedingly larger than this guy, the Charlemagne right here. But the Charlemagne is a more deadlier foe, considering the fact that the Hesh is able to deal a massive chunk of damage. And considering the fact that you have solid maneuverability to get into the front line and have 8 degrees of gun depression to get troll bounces on your turret here and there, it makes the tank great and it makes it a very strong and deadly foe to deal with. Hopefully you guys did end up enjoying today's video. On the other hand, if you did, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. And make sure to turn on those post notifications so you'll be notified whenever I upload any new videos. And I hope to see you guys in the next one. Peace out, y'all.